So good evening, everybody. Hi, everyone. This is coming a bit late. It's 11:08 p.m. Kenyan time. So the market is just about to open in a couple. Usually I do this is actually okay, for those people who are on my channel for the very first time, this is my Sunday weekly analysis. So I usually like to do it a bit earlier in the day, but this week has been a bit crazy for me. I usually have my caregiver for my daughter, my nanny, who helps me out with my toddler, and she's been away for the week. So it's been crazy just trying to manage everything, like look at charts, help people out if they're trading, train because I have classes every week, and then signals and what. It's just been crazy. So this weekend has been full blown, just being there, being a mom with no help. But yeah, so this is when I'm actually getting to do this, when the house is a bit quiet now and people are asleep. So apologies for that, just in case you are waiting for my weekly analysis earlier. But again, if this is your first time on my channel, please like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends who you think may benefit from just watching this information. So thank you for that. Now, that said, I am on gold. Guys, gold is one of my favorite pairs to trade. If you get it right, it really, really pays you right. So I love gold. Last week, we did pretty well with trading. The markets were really cool. But towards the end of the week, what we saw was a lot of market manipulation. And I usually tell people, like, if I look at gold on the weekly, whenever I see gold on the weekly structure, I'm like, please don't trade, please don't trade. So like gold was, approaching the weekly structure. It cleared this high of 2020, previous high of 2020. And then there was, you see here in January this year, there was major manipulation here. We can see that. So I was already like, okay, let me just wait and see what happens. So I sat it out on Friday. Luckily, I don't necessarily trade on Fridays. I usually just, Fridays are my days off from the market. But what I'm seeing right now as we speak, gold is very, very bullish, right? And we can see like it's broken. Like if I look at it, like this is a key level here where it really began its bullish move to the upside. And it did quite for the last couple of weeks. Gold has just been bullish, and luckily, I've really been bullish on gold for the last couple of weeks myself. And now we are at a weekly high. Okay, we have two highs here. If I look at the daily, okay, very, like when I say market manipulation, this is what I mean. Like you're just seeing wicks, really showing no real clear direction and everything. So I told people on Friday, sit it out. Even on Thursday, although Thursday we managed about, I think, 80 pips. But usually if you're doing 80 pips, that's okay, that's great. But usually with gold, you can do 200 pips, so that's now a normal market condition. So when you're doing less, you know that, there's a bit of manipulation in one direction, that is. So on the 4-hour, again, excuse my lines. I mean, these are just, I can clear them. I mean, I know someone today was kind of criticizing my charts, social media, and he just went off and decided that this is the day he's really gonna tell me off about my messy charts. And I'm like, bruh, I mean, if we are trading and making pips with our messy charts, like, what's the big deal? I mean, traders are usually so stuck up and so arrogant about how to do things. But guys, if you have a system, and I just need to say this, if you have a trading system that's working, it doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're using moving averages, 20 of them, or I mean, if your analysis is making you money, it doesn't matter. Like, make your money. Like, just, I find it strange when strangers online come and look at your charts and start criticizing and saying all these things. You're not a trader, and that's not how to trade. I'm like, I don't even know you. But that's the thing of putting myself out there. I mean, I'm committed to this journey and I want to just help more and more traders out there. And I know there are people who follow me and they like what I do. So those are the people I address on my YouTube, on my Facebook or Instagram. It's not for everybody. So if my style is not for you guys, that's okay. That's well and good. Not to sweat the small stuff. Yeah. So that out of the way. Let me so I can even clear my chart right now. So, but back to the weekly, like I said, we are on the weekly high. We rejected this weekly high here. There's another high up above here, so we could actually just make a run for it. Because we've been very, very bullish. But because of this area here, I'm 50-50 about whether this is a key level. I'm 50-50 about whether we'll break it, right now. As you can see, since July of last year, we've technically been on a downtrend with like on a scaling lower highs with gold. But since March this year, we've actually now started pushing up. I mean, for various reasons that have been happening in the world, just affecting price action on gold and everything. But if I look at the lower time frame, we can see we are definitely in a very key level right now. So is this manipulation? Are we going to keep pushing higher? Because we've pushed up, we've retested, and we look like we are moving higher. It's possible because we've kind of made this previous candle, which is a small bodied candle or a doji candle, shows a lot of indecision. And that's why I'm saying, like, this is not really a setup for me to make a clear decision about where gold is going. We could push further up to this, that's about 92 pips to this previous high. That's a possibility. Maybe even like push to 1917. But I feel like it would be safer to wait a bit and not just jump into the market immediately, because we could, push lower. We could reject these highs and push lower and maybe even consolidate for a while, and then just drop. But if I look at it, I mean, this is a key, let me go to a lower time frame, 4-hour. So on the 4-hour, I know for sure that if gold pushes above, this, I mean, we're definitely going into a breakout. So I would want to see, it's coming to the 1917, possibly retracing and then breaking out again. And just, if we break out, we'll probably just bail for the previous high, which is about 400 pips away. I mean, that's 1958 is a possibility. But we wait and see. I mean, we could see some fake outs before that even happens. But this is gold. It could just also just break out and make for it. Just run to the other high. But we've been scaling lower highs, and I feel like we could just continue scaling those lower highs. But if I look at the lower time frame, just like I like trading the 30-minute and maybe sometimes looking at my entries on the 5-minute. And these are very strong areas of liquidity. Yes, we are on an uptrend, but we've kind of settled into a channel of sorts, a sideways move of sorts. And I'm seeing like, like this is if I take my trend tool, I mean, this is a clear, interesting level here. We can see that gold on the 25th last week, it broke structure here and made, and just pushed up a couple of pips, about 300 pips or more. So for me, I'm like, this is also a key level. And we can see when it's retested, whatever, of course, this is not me. I'm just supposed to be analyzing quickly, but just to give an idea of also how I look at things. I mean, for me, I saw this retest, okay, on this level, and I knew for sure this is a very strong level, and it just pushed all the way up. And why I even say it's strong is because after that, we saw a tapering in price action. Okay, let me clear this annoying. Yeah. So we pushed up, and then we made for the previous high. Okay, then we started scaling lower lows, and then we retested this key zone and pushed up again, broke this level again, and created another interesting level here. So my take is very possible that we could actually come back here, okay, come back down to this level, okay, and then push up. Yeah, so we could actually just, that could actually happen. That's what I'm seeing on market open, because we've gotten to another, I mean, there's buy liquidity, there's sell liquidity, and there's buy liquidity up here. Okay, meaning that there are a lot of, sell stops and buy stops here as well as up here. And, some people are thinking it's going to break structure. So there's some, so the institutions may push price higher, take out some liquidity, or push it lower and just confuse you all, and keep pushing up. So I'd like to see how it opens. I'm biased for it to first, if I look left again, another key level for me is also here. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if gold pushed all the way down, breaking all those levels, retested here before pushing to the upside. But like I said, this is gold. Anything is possible. Okay. We wait and see how the market opens. Okay, so push up there. So we wait and see how the market opens. But I feel like this, like this level here, this level here was retested again. The level here that was retested. Okay, so we can see a sideways move here. An important thing happened here, retest, pushed up. This was a very strong push up. So it could even, just based off this strong impulse to the upside, this could just continue retesting and actually push up, just not even waste time coming down, just continue pushing up, But I would much prefer if it retested a previous low and then pushed up. So whatever the case is, you put your limit orders probably at this liquidity level or even this one here, and then push up. So what's my take on gold? Am I bearish or bullish? I'm kind of bullish on gold, okay? And I will not be surprised if it tests the 1959 zone. area, 1940, breaks through in 1917. I wouldn't be surprised. This is gold. But there could be some consolidation before that happens. Yeah. So that's gold. Let's go to the second pair, or the second thing I like to trade, which is actually US 30. You guys know me. I've traded US 30 for so long, since I started getting into trading. Blew a few accounts with US 30, but for some reason I love US 30 and German 30 and NAS, but I don't trade NAS much. I just like looking at it, or comparing it to the other indices. But US 30 is my baby. She my baby. She my baby. So I think I'd already marked this earlier today. And I let me go on the weekly. So US 30, again, a lot of market manipulation in the last 2 weeks. And for sure, guys, I'm sure you've been seeing very weird moves with US 30. Like it's been dropping 200, 300 pips, pushing back up the same distance within the same day. So a lot's been happening. Whether it's news, whether it's market makers, it's just been quite something. Thankfully, like I said last week, we were really on the right side of the market generally, and we had a good one. So US 30 on the weekly, it's been tapering a bit on its strength to the upside. We can see the buyers, have really been rejecting any idea of pushing lower, like, try to push really lower to a previous liquidity level, and then, just pushed back up. On the daily, we are seeing, kind of still a bullish outlook, but with the close of Friday's candle, we can now see that this is actually a key level, okay? And it's actually, pretty. This is a key level for me. I'm seeing like there's a lot of liquidity up here. We may push lower. We may push lower, but let me look at a lower time frame. A bit of consolidation in this zone, for, the whole of Friday, just this zone. And if I look at it properly, this is key level. This is actually, in fact, for me, my area of interest would be this level here. Okay, so it's pushed up this level, the 34,543. Okay, and it has retested that level. Now, will it break through the March level? Possibly. Okay, this could be a minor retest as it continues on its way up. Let me just scroll up. So yeah, it's retested the 50% on this bullish candle on the 4-hour. So, and rejected, so possibly could continue on its way up. Okay. But I wouldn't be surprised if I saw a lower move, right? Another key level that is important to note is this one here. We can see that for the longest time, so there's been a sideways kind of move here, and we can see something interesting happened, right? So when US 30 broke this, like let's make this a bit more. So we can see a bearish candle, and then it came back and retested this level, okay? And then it closed above this level, which to me is kind of a liquidity area of interest around here. And then it retested this level. So this retest here for me is interesting because it rejected that level and then pushed up, okay? And if I look at this level here, it's retested. Don't mind my lines, guys. It's retested that level right there. And then we can see a rejection here and it pushed up. So this is a bit of, could be market manipulation, but, then came back and broke structure, went all the way down, broke, and then this was another interesting level. And then it came back and retested and now pushed all the way up. So what I'm seeing right now is that we could see some rejection here. We could see some, push up, but then I think we'll see a lower, kind of move, and possibly I'd like to see it at least get to the 33,900 level, okay, for starters, at least. Let me see how many pips that would be. What, 560 pips? Yeah, or more, right? Yeah, but if we break through, we'll break through, take out, I think, try and retest these levels, but I think there's still room to go down. So US 30, I'm kind of bearish on US 30. Okay, kind of bearish on US 30. But let's look at AUD USD. AUD USD. Okay, I had actually looked at this earlier. It's been consolidating. It broke through structure here, but I feel like this was also a bit of market manipulation. You can see it tried to break out here a couple of times, failed, and then continued consolidating, formed lower highs. Looking at it now, I would really want for it to come down before it continues consolidating. I don't think we are ready to see a really big bullish move from AU, but let me look at the higher time frame. You see, why I say that also is because on that weekly, we can see rejection at this level. So I'm not so bullish on AU. I'm more bearish on AU. Daily structure looking bearish, the candle closed bearish. A bit of a rejection here. So, but I still think we will, this is a whole engulfing candle. So I think we'll still possibly try and retest previous low. Then there's Euro USD. Again, we see market manipulation. On the weekly, rejection on the weekly. On the daily, push down, rejected this previous level. But for me, these weeks, not weeks, I mean wicks. These wicks are, indecision. Really can't really say much about Euro USD, but we could see some consolidation happen. This is like a sideways move happening there. Retested a couple of times. And something you need to, we can see here, broke through structure here, 1, 2, and then it broke low. I feel like EU is also bearish. Like I would really want to see it coming lower. How many pips away would this be? About 100 pips? Yeah, I would really want to see it retesting the 1.20885 level or the 1.21115 level before it pushes to the upside. So possibly 82 pips and then maybe continue consolidating in this zone. So I'm bearish on EU. But again, we look at how the market will open. So I've looked at AU, EU, US 30 gold. One more pair that I like to trade is GBP USD. If you guys are in my signals group, you'll notice those are like in major currencies that I tend to trade, or pairs that I tend to trade, and we can see how GU closed, quite bearish, you know. I feel like we are still bearish on GU as well. So, you know, you may see some interesting things happening. So if you look at that sideways move there, okay. So if you look at this here, we've been in a sideways kind of, you know, move on GU, right? So, you know, I feel we may still be in this consolidation for a time. Let me first look at the weekly higher time frame. So the weekly is looking interesting, weekly is looking bullish, but we are on the weekly structure right now. So we may face some rejection here, okay? We may face some rejection there. Yeah, so let me go on the daily. Yeah, so this is where we are at on the daily. I'm not really thinking, because this is in February. So the last time GU was this level was in Feb, 3 months ago. So will we push higher? We've really just been, you know, I feel like this has just been a level of manipulation, major manipulation. Nothing has really been happening, just going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. But scaling higher lows, okay? So maybe, you know, getting some momentum. Really interesting wedge triangle pattern happening there. You know, I mean, all these patterns, cap formation. So looking bullish on the daily. But I still feel, you know, we might see some more sideways. I'm not really sure right now what to expect because we're literally in the middle of a sideways range, right? We have interesting levels. You know, we are already smack on a very interesting level right now. The fact that we've retested this zone, this area here on the 4-hour, I mean, you know, we came, pushed up, and then retested this level. So I would want to see how it would pan out in the once the market opens. I would really want to see what happens. But this is a key level. I wouldn't be surprised if it came back all the way down here. It could, you know, keep on scaling lower lows, slowly and slowly and slowly. So I'm bearish on GU, you know, and then once it gets to this level, then maybe we can see either it will break to the downside and attempt to get to a previous liquidity or a previous, let's say, order block. So maybe let me just, for example, at this level, before we now see a nice push to the upside. So I'm bearish on the USD pairs, okay? In terms of the GU, EU, and so on and so forth. Generally, the market is kind of looking bearish this week, but we wait and see what happens. We are a couple of minutes away from the market open, so we wait and see what happens, yeah? But thanks, guys, for tuning in as always. I hope this video gives you value and gives you insights of how I'm looking at the market and maybe an idea of how you can also look at the market. Obviously, we keep learning every single day. I keep introducing new things that I'm also implementing in my trading. And if you've watched my videos from the beginning of my channel till today, you can see that a lot has changed also in how I analyze the markets. And yes, this week we also start our second phase, our second intake of our beginners class on Tuesday. I know Tuesday here in Kenya is actually a public holiday, but we'll have like an hour or two with our new students in the beginners class because I have students from outside Kenya as well. Looking forward to that. If you want to be in that class as well, please just drop us a line in the comments section or hit us up on Telegram. I'll put our link in the box. If you want to be part of our signals group as well, we have different plans for different traders depending on your budget. I always say test us out, see if we give value. A lot of people criticize me for giving my signals and saying why do I share signals? And I'm like, guys, my journey in Forex began as a trader in terms of knowing nothing like everybody else. And in the beginning, I had a mentor, a lady, and based in the US, and she used to share her signals, and I just used to copy and paste them in the beginning, and that gave me validation that Forex actually works because I was actually making some money off of her signals. So when traders come and criticize, why we give signals and things like that, I'm like, you guys don't understand what we're doing, and that's fine. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. But there are struggling traders out there who just want a glance into the market to be sure about their own analysis. They're really trying to still navigate the space. And we are like, you know what, we could give you trade ideas. You can use them to just look at your own setups, confirm your own setups, and take them. Okay. So that being said, once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever. And see you soon. Bye.